Mortal Kombat has enjoyed a major resurgence in popularity lately, beginning with the release of Mortal Kombat 9. With Mortal Kombat 10 now being 4 years old, many fans were wondering how the best title in the series to date could be improved, a question NetherRealm Studios seeks to answer with the release of Mortal Kombat 11. So what is Mortal Kombat 11? Canonically, it's the third game in what some call the NetherRealm trilogy for the new studio in charge of the games, even if it's helmed by the same folks responsible for every MK game ever. It's also the most beautiful Mortal Kombat game ever made. The characters and backgrounds are wonderfully detailed, and the blood and viscera are more stomach-churning than ever before. Mechanically, not a lot has changed. It's still the same one-on-one fighter you know and love, but there have been some changes. X-ray moves are kind of out, now replaced with impact moves, which will basically do the same thing, but not with the same cinematic flair. That's reserved for fatal blows now, which focus more on blood spatter than bone shatter. Mortal Kombat 11 builds on the foundation laid by its two predecessors, but reaches even further into the franchise's past to pull on the heartstrings of its oldest fans. Much of the returning cast comes from the original arcade trilogy, while the remainder is filled out by fighters from the NetherRealm games, with a couple of newcomers thrown in for good measure. Combatants from the less successful entries in the series are referenced at times, but are nowhere to be found. There's a story-based reason for the return of so many classic fighters. This time around, a new villain named Kronika is gathering warriors from multiple eras and timelines to fight one another, meaning you not only get updated versions of older fighters like Baraka and Johnny Cage, but their old school versions as well. All of this is explained in the game's story mode, which is the most impressive I've ever seen in a fighting game. Each chapter and cutscene plays like a decent animated film with an occasional fight to shake things up. Sometimes I felt the scenes went on a bit too long between fights and found myself wanting to skip ahead to get back to playing, but it mostly wasn't an issue. MK11 tells an interesting story that weaves in and out of the series' history, and the voice acting is top-notch, save for Ronda Rousey's performance as Sonya Blade, which was wooden and lifeless. Thankfully, Sonya has a limited role in the story, and thus I wasn't forced to suffer through Rousey's poor delivery for long. Aside from story mode, you have a few other single-player options, which can be found under the Conquer menu: Classic Towers, Towers of Time, and the Crypt. Classic Towers is basically the arcade mode from every Mortal Kombat game, complete with unique character endings, albeit with a minor modification. You can now use consumable items to give you an advantage in each fight, and you also have the option of having a computer-controlled fighter make their way through the tower for you, earning you rewards in the process. The rewards you receive range from currencies, which can be used to purchase various unlockables, to other items, or to pieces of gear to add to a customized character loadout. There's tons of stuff to unlock: alternate costumes, fatalities, brutalities, gear, consumables, concept art, and more. But honestly, that's my least favorite part of the game. MK11 goes a bit too far with unlockables for my taste. Opening a single chest in the Crypt can cost over 20,000 coins, and earning that much takes a long time. That might be okay if that was the only place that you had to use coins to get cool stuff, but if you want a specific set of gear for your favorite character rather than relying on random rewards, you'll need to spend at least 25,000 coins to summon a tower specific to that character in Towers of Time. I'm betting there will be a paid DLC option to purchase specific items or to add coins and other currencies to your inventory, but as of the time of shooting this video, MK11's store isn't open for business, so I'm not sure what options will be available when the game launches on April 23rd. Towers of Time is a mode in which towers are available for you to challenge, each for a limited time and each with its own theme. They offer some type of reward based on that theme. I didn't much care for this mode as it often proved more frustrating than enjoyable. It isn't all bad though. One tower contained a single match against a significantly powered up Sub-Zero and allowed you to call upon real-world friends over the internet to assist you in taking him down. The player not actively fighting could use powers to assist their teammates, such as sending a projectile at the enemy or granting the fighting player armor or health. It was the most fun I had with the game so far, but it was fleeting as it was just one tower that didn't seem to conform to the rules of the others. Here's how a typical tower run goes. Each match is subject to a modifier, and sometimes those modifiers can be insanely punishing. In one match, I had to battle Noob Saibot on a rocking boat while bubbles floated through the air, causing my character to slip anytime they came in contact with them. In another match, I was so badly poisoned that I had roughly 10 seconds to win each round before my character would succumb to the poison, giving my opponent the victory. The idea is that you should have a consumable ready to counteract some of these effects, but in reality, I found that I never had the right consumable at the right time, and as it stands, there's no place in the game to purchase specific items, meaning I had to hope I'd find the right item for the job in a random chest in the Crypt, or hope I had the crafting recipe for it at the game's forge. The Forge is in the Crypt, so let's go ahead and talk about that now. The Crypt is a holdover from 2002's Deadly Alliance. In it, you can open chests for a price to get an unlockable, items, or more money. Previous iterations had the Crypt contain items in static locations, but that doesn't seem to be the case in Mortal Kombat 11. Everything is random. MK11's Crypt is my favorite so far, despite its randomness, however. This one takes place in Shang Tsung's island from the original Mortal Kombat. You can see some of the original stages like the Pit and the Warrior Shrine, which is pretty awesome. It's a great chance to explore some of the backgrounds old fans like me know and love. There are some light puzzle solving elements as well, such as using Shao Kahn's hammer to smash through walls or bang gongs to open doors. It'll take an eternity to get through the entirety of the Crypt though, considering how stingy the game is with giving currency. My favorite feature in MK11, however, is easily character customization. With the rewards you find, you can build a loadout for any character to your specifications. Each character has 3 pieces of gear: an intro animation, a victory animation, up to 3 abilities, and a skin, and you can change them all. Abilities are essentially special moves, though you can add modifiers to existing moves as well. The default characters only have a portion of their entire repertoire available to them at any time, but through customization you can vastly increase your available moves. Each piece of gear has the ability to unlock slots, which you can fit modifications called augments into. I like the idea, but I have yet to find a gear augment that I can actually use, because they're really specific in how they can be used. The gear slot and augment types both need to be the same, and then the augment also needs to be designed to work with that specific type of gear for that specific character, meaning you'll be hunting for these for a very long time, and when you do find them, you need to make sure they're usable by a human player, as some are only usable when you allow an AI player to control your customized character. It's another idea that sounds really good, but doesn't work that well in practice. I've talked a lot about single player and what you can do there, but what if you're more interested in hopping online and bringing the pain? NetherRealm did not skimp on features for MK11's online functionality whatsoever. You can play a ton of different modes here, from ranked sets in which the first player to 3 match victories wins, to casual matches with a few different rule sets. My favorite thing is how well NetherRealm handled every aspect of matching up with someone and playing. When you get offered a match with another player, you'll see your connection quality to them both in terms of ping and a connection status bar that's easy to read. And when you're playing in a lobby, you can seamlessly switch between a full screen view of the action, a windowed view with a list of people in the lobby, and the room's chat. Mortal Kombat 11's theater view is the new gold standard for online fighting games. I hope other games steal this ingenious setup. Most importantly, I almost never experienced any appreciable lag while playing online, even when the game told me my connection was less than perfect. There's even a mode where you can engage in battles between AI-controlled characters online, in case you'd rather watch the action than play. I found this mode to be rather boring, as did most of my opponents, I'd imagine, as I only made it through a single match without my opponent quitting. Mortal Kombat 11 is a lot of fun, even in spite of itself. The grind to unlock costumes, skins, and gears won't be worth it for all but the most dedicated of fans. The story mode can drone on at times, and the AI battle feature feels pointless. Towers of Time can be incredibly unfair, but can also occasionally pack some of the most fun in the entire game. I hope NetherRealm looks at more ways to bring co-op into that mode. Finally, MK11 is the best online fighting game around, thanks to its comprehensive modes and its theater view, which is the best way to play online fighters with friends. I like Mortal Kombat 11 a lot, and I think anybody who has ever enjoyed the franchise will find something to like in this game. With that said, thank you so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe to GameXplain for all things Mortal Kombat 11 and other things gaming as well. We'll catch you next time. Bye!